Previously on 90 Day UK. I mean, her feet's burning. She's hungry. You haven't thought about any of this at all. You didn't. You know, he just went to the store and got a bunch of stuff, which is fine.
Yeah, but he spent a lot of money, and that was a lot for him. And she didn't even acknowledge the effort. She just complained.
And then they didn't use it.
Oh, right.
That's a great thing about you, is I know that there will be no food wasted.
Right. I thought to myself, oh, good, they're going to pack it up and go back to their room and eat it there. No, then she has to have a restaurant, and then the restaurant's not good enough, and then the spot's not good enough, and whatever. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Coupled with Chaos.
90 Day UK Season 2, Episode 11. I think it was only 10 last season. It's 11 episodes, and at least one more before there's going to be a tell-all. This one is The Relationship is Over. This, I guess, has to be Tione and David.
Thank goodness. I hope so.
Yeah, but we see him begging on his knees in the preview.
That's ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah, I never, as much as Razvan and Amanda and that, this is something I felt even worse about.
Yeah. Because
I think David kind of makes, I don't want to discount somebody's love for somebody else, but this seems, I don't know, he's on his knees crying, Kelly, in the preview.
I wouldn't cry for anything to do with her.
This is just what she says during this episode. I have too much potential to be with
a guy like you.
You're disgusting. You're disrespectful. Thank God I haven't married you yet. I have... Sorry. Thank God I haven't married you yet. If I didn't have high respect for myself, I could have slapped you. Yeah. Nothing can change my mind. You're disgusting.
She is a piece of work.
This is what came out of her mouth. And while shopping under her breath, she mumbled and called him an asshole. And so now he's begging?
Yeah, it's terrible. No one should grovel to this woman. She is not worth the time of day.
She said shopping was, this is her word, a disaster.
What stood out to me was that she won't even consider moving to his country to be with him because the shopping isn't to her liking.
The shopping.
But he said, I love her. I want to be with her. I will follow her anywhere.
Put it this way. What do you think the cost of living would be for them in the DR? It would be more manageable.
Isn't it Colombia?
No, this is the Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic. Okay, well, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah, this is completely doable. And he evidently, as far as DR goes, we didn't know, or at least I didn't remember before this episode, what his job was.
Yeah, he said he's a high school math teacher.
He's at least in the upper half.
Yeah, he said he's better off than most.
And
he was fortunate to be able to get that career.
And she's blind to say that it's just better for him there. What's she going to do? She's not going to punch the clock and go to work.
No.
To make ends meet. She's going to have...
Yeah, and who is going to pay for the visa and all that? I mean, she's not a rich person. She just acts like one.
Yeah, so how is she going to have all of these rich things in the UK that she wants to buy and have? Not off of his salary, because he's not going to have one.
Right.
So where does it come from?
He won't even be able to work for a while.
She made this dinner, and I'm thinking, what if he didn't like it? Think if he said, this was disgusting, and your dinner was a disaster.
Right.
What would she do?
Like she said the picnic was a disaster. Little did she know that she spoiled a
was a disaster.
Proposal.
But it was a disaster. I mean,
but still.
I get it. But what's he supposed to do? What if he didn't like it? He's got to say, I love this. This is great. And the effort you took. But what if he didn't love it? She needs everything to be perfect. And if it's not perfect, then...
It's not good enough.
No, it's not even close to good enough. Then she just complains. And then the salsa dancing.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what this
crazy.
eruption is about.
And the thing is, he took her there to do it with her.
And she's moping in the corner.
It was her choice not to participate.
Well, she was never going to. You think she's loose enough or free enough? Look, I understand my hips won't move that way. I'm just not free enough to dance like no one's watching.
Well, it was a class. It was to learn.
Well, I think he's a pro. He seems pretty good at it. You know, and I noticed a lot of people in the background all kind of dressed similar, like they had fill-ins. So it's probably a bit of a stage class, but still, how bad is this really? It was like they were banging or something in front of everybody.
Yeah, her display of disdain was a bit ridiculous.
There haven't been many more unlikable people that we have seen. Anfisa, would you go with that? Was there anything about Anfisa that was likable?
No.
And she was doing damage.
Yes.
Not only
emotional damage, but physical damage.
Yeah, she was, stealing his phone and
keying his car.
Yeah, all this stuff.
Changing all his passwords.
So Tioni's not quite Anfisa. But she's in the ballpark. Mm-hmm. You're in that club.
She's a horrible person. I don't know who would want to tie themselves to her long term.
Their conversation about where to live, he brought up some he's asking the right questions. He's a little smarter than I think we gave him credit for at the beginning. Right?
I liked him from the start.
Party, playboy, kind of I'm handsome. I had handsome parents, all this stuff. It was, for normal-looking people or a normal-looking person, you kind of go, all right, look, I get it. But you don't need to remind us that you're all that handsome. But he's talking about, where the best opportunity for him is.
He's awfully respectful of a person who has not earned his respect in any way.
Too much potential to be with you.
You know how much time I would give to someone who said that to me?
None?
Negative.
I would pull a Mike from Washington.
Right. Exactly.
Don't let
we know.
The door hit you, where the good Lord split you. Thank you for listening.
You can listen to the rest of this episode
by subscribing to our Coupled with Chaos channel on Apple,
by subscribing to our Patreon,
or by subscribing to our Supercast
for $3.99 a month,
where you can hear us talk about reality shows,
real life, and more on our podcast,
covering shows airing on TLC, A&E, Bravo, and the WE Network.
Just follow the instructions in the show notes.
Tell your friends about this podcast,
and rate and review us on your favorite podcast player.
Follow us at Coupled with Chaos on all the socials.
Or contact us directly by email at coupledwithchaos@gmail.com.